Hello everyone, my name is Val and today we have a very interesting palette on the review. This is a Chinese independent brand by the blogger Narimi. Narimi Z is her nickname. I will leave the links to her in the description box so you can see for yourself. So this is a very interesting art palette in my opinion, and this is what we will be working with today. We will do two makeup looks together, and this one I will do separately as a short, and this is how the color story looks. And it's very curious. I haven't seen such a thing before, and I'm excited to show you what it can do and what I can tell you about it. Big thanks to Paulina for sending me this palette. It's her palette actually, and she sent it to me for the review and like as a gift basically. So big thanks to her, and if you're interested, let's begin. So I am back, and it's kind of weird to come back after such a long time in my time actually, because for 1.5 weeks I was not able to do any makeup. I had a pink eye unfortunately. That just happened, and I just needed some time to be grounded by myself. So if you will hear some meowing, it's because we adopted cats. They can come, they are big, they're fluffy, and you may see them eventually, but just so you know, now we have at home. And I'm starting with the palette called Narimi Pegasus Knight. I'm pretty sure that I said about it in the intro, but I don't have an intro right now with me because I am going in a different direction. So I'm starting with my looks and then I'm finishing with the final thoughts, which is kind of logical, but yeah. And I am seeing here quite a two, I would say, distinctive color stories. One is beige brown and one is turquoise blue. However, they all should technically work together anyway. And today we will do some holographic action with some peach, most likely. So it's like a more interesting shade in general. And next we will do a second look with the bluish tones. At least that's my idea of it. I hope this will turn out okay. I have no idea what it's going to be. I don't know what I'm doing, but let's begin. I'm taking the shade Bandage and I'm placing it all over the lid because I most likely need it all over the lid. It seems like pigments, and I feel my eyelid is also a bit sticky from the Painterly paint pot, so I need to remove the stickiness to be able to blend further properly. And I'm just placing this bandage. It's slightly yellow, but very nice actually shade, and I'm blending it everywhere. Then I'm taking the shade Nitrate, and with the brush just starting with the liner. And after the liner is done, I'm going into the crease. It's kind of the outlining basically. I don't need brown to be my whole third of the eye. I just need it for the outside, if that makes sense. And I am doing this with just a relatively small fluffy brush. Not the blending brush, more like semi-blending. I don't know how to describe this shape, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just blending the brown. It's cool tone brown. You can see that it's pretty cool in tone on me, so that means it's gonna be very cool on some warm undertones. This makeup is gonna be really simple, to be honest. And when I'm blending it downwards, I'm leaving it approximately till the 2/3 of the eye, and only in the crease and the outsides. And then I'm going back to the bandage and I'm blending it towards the brown so I can have my two shades together. A very simple color schema. 2 shades are enough usually, especially if they have something to darken things up. So that will be the idea. Now we can go into our silver hair. This is holochrome. It's holographic and multi-chrome at the same time. It's pretty smooth one and very, very thin. So I'm using the silicone brush and I'm applying it directly onto the eyelid. I am leaving the shape of brown a bit outside of where I'm applying this whole thing because I want to be able to place it only within the lid without the wing. So the wing is kind of the outside part. And then once it's blended, the rest of it I'm placing onto the lower lid so I can just kind of wipe it on my lid. And then I think we will go into the shade Warhorse. I think it's Warhorse, but it's written Warhorse. I think it's actually supposed to be a typo. So This is a very simple shade. It's more of a sparkle with a peach tone, and I'm just blending it into the holographic. It's actually working okay. Both silver and gold can work together. This is just something that can be done, and this is what I'm going to do here. And I think that will be pretty much it, actually. So nothing else to be added. I'm thinking of the liner just to have my lashes a bit more in the normal range, let's say. And after that I will come back to you with the finished face. So this is the look, and this is the current setup. I'm kind of prepared for the spooky season. I wanted my photos to be a bit more in the vibe. I wanted to highlight my background. This is just a hanging cloth. I cannot do anything with the lines, but it's okay. It's kind of like a pumpkin lines, fine for me. And I will highlight it with different colors, but it's originally just gray. I like gray backgrounds because they allow me to stand out. On the white, I'm not seen. On the black, black is overpowering as well. So black and white to me are not good. Something colorful depends on the color, and I bought this background in gray. It's slightly textured, like it has some texture on it, and because of that I also really like how it looks in the frame. Yeah, so today's makeup is pretty damn good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really like the colors, I like the output, I like that it's nude with special effects because it's holographic. You don't see it from afar, because most of the holographic shades are actually very, very much shades for you rather than for people around you. But you can also apply it in a very sparse, distributed way so that the holographic sparkles, tiny ones, are all over everything that you need. And I am enjoying this shade so far. It seems like it wants to go into the creases, but it's actually the other shade that is doing that. And it's the shade War Horse. So this one that we touched, it's flaky. You have to be careful about this because flaky shades, just like with Auden's Eye, when you apply it on the lid, sometimes you apply too much and you cannot blend it away because it's flaky. It's just staying where you put it. It's not very nice, and this is just what you have to take into consideration. The Nitrate Brown is very nice, cool toned brown. I'm so happy about it. It's very beautiful on me. Because on cool tones, cool browns, perfection. It matches the shade called Cooler from the Mitchell case. So this one here, second in the dark row, because I'm using it a lot and my liner is actually done with this shade and I am loving it. The yellowish beige was also okay. Right now you cannot kind of see it, but it was a good shade for actually blending it into the skin. Even though my skin is more on the cool side with the pink tones, it still works because it allows to just blend out the brown a bit and you get this nice blended look. So I am so far loving everything. I'm pretty happy with all of the things and I'm enjoying this. We touched 4 shades from this palette already. The next makeup look will be also 4 shades and then we will do the final thoughts. I like this. I really like when the palette is so simple to work with and when it's like boom, bam, done, good. So I'm just enjoying it. I'm just enjoying the experience for today. Tell me what you think about this makeup look, about the background, if it's good or not, if it's looking okay, if it's something that I should incorporate more or maybe not. So I want to know your thoughts about everything. What else do I have on my face? Camino Kwan foundation and sensual skin enhancer. Both. I love it. It's here. It's gonna stay. Then Sephora contour stick today, especially good for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. When I have such a nude-ish makeup look, I want to have something neutral in blush. So this is NARS Zen. Zen blush is on the neutral side and it doesn't have a crazy pigmentation, so you can go ham with it. You will not get overpowered by it. It's just this kind of blush. So very nice one. This is supposed to be the full one, 4.8 grams. And I do not regret that I bought this compared to some other shades they have and their names. Then Fenty Beauty, how many carats? Because silver goes to silver. As you can see, I also used a bit of silver here and there so that I can have like a theme going. And I am on the amount of silver and gray that I have with the hair, my skin doesn't look as pale, which I kind of enjoy. But I also don't mind myself being pale. It's still there. It's still happening. But yeah, in contrast, it just gives me a bit of more life, I would say. That's my personal preference about myself. And on the lips today, I have MAC Grayish because we have something cool going on in the eyes and I wanted to have something similar on the lips. And the Skinny Dip by Kaleidos. This shade of gloss actually has a teeny tiny sparkles in it, but you cannot see them. So I'm just using as a regular beige kind of gloss, and it's a very nice shade as well. So far so good. Really happy with everything, with experience. I knew that it's gonna be something in the pigment side, so I'm familiar with this texture and I know how to work with that, but sometimes it may actually get stuck, and in such conditions you just need something underneath of it, and this is going to work okay. So it needs like a texture that is filled already with a powder or another shade, a lighter shade, and then you're good to go and everything will be totally fine. So pleased, very enjoyable, everything's looking good to me, and I will see you in the next look tomorrow. So this is my face again. I'm starting the second look. I found an inspiration in kind of the Renaissance oil paintings, and I want to connect these shades in such a way. So we will try to achieve that with just applying a bit of everything, let's say it like that. And I will show you the difference between how you apply the shade onto the pigment versus how it applies to the naked lid. So let's begin. I will start with the shade Pearl with a big fluffy brush, and I'm applying it to the outer edge under the brow and outer third of the eye completely. While I'm blending, you can see that where I tap the pigment, it stays there because my initial base is a bit tacky and the pigment just grabs onto it. It doesn't create the spots right now because it's very light. But despite being so pastel-y, it still has a lot of payoff in the color, and I really do enjoy that. It's looking great. So I'm just tapping a bit more pigment onto the area where I did not apply enough, and we are good to go. Now switching brush to the smaller one, I'm going into the shade Scar. A very nice periwinkle blue, something very romantic in my opinion. I really like this color. It's like a blue with a hint of lilac in it, and it's gonna be my inner corner in here, and I'm dragging it onto the bottom lid as well, so it's just staying in there. At this point, I think just leaving the two is probably not the best solution, so I'm gonna dab into further development. Let's go into the shade Bandage. It's gonna be the centerpiece, kind of connecting the green and the blue together. I know it's not exactly connecting, but I kind of want it there. I don't know why, but it just feels right. And then I will go into the shade Night Raid, and I will start drawing the free line shape. So I'm drawing just the outer edge. It's like of a graphic but soft, and as you can see, it blends onto the pigment more nicely because you can clearly place the pigment onto something. The previous shade basically filled all the pores, and the stickiness is gone right now from the lid, so that the pigment, the darker one, can sit more nicely on top of it and can be blended. So I'm dragging like a oval shape, outlining the eye, connecting it with my crease slightly, not too much, not too little, and I'm drawing, like dragging the shape downwards and a bit upwards, just creating like an UFO kind of shape in my opinion. I also want to add a dab of brown into the inner corner and drag it into the same line, so it's like an additional thing but not the focal point. It's just a little element in there, and that will be a good one. Then I'm connecting the outer edge with this curved shape I've created, and you can see where I did not have any pigment, the edge is more prominent because it cannot blend over the empty lid. It will not be as good in blending over that. So with pigments, it's very important to place something under them and then you blend, because otherwise you will get spotty, splotchy. And I heard a lot of complaints about the Bella Bottebas, for example, her palettes, that they are acting up, but in fact you just need something under the pigment to blend it over, and then everything will be fine, everything will be good. Just try this technique. It's very easy actually, and you will be so good with a lot of palettes, to be honest. Okay, now I think we will go into the corselet. It's a blue sparkly pigment. I first applied it into the center of the lid, and then I understood that it's kind of fitting into the inner corner more, so I'm gonna move it there. And onto the main lid I will apply the shade Holy Sword. It's just gonna be a main lid shade. It's slightly duochroming as well, so you can see it shifting from yellow to slightly green, plus this bluish shade will help a lot. It matches very nicely to the scar, so I feel like they are belonging together, and I'm really enjoying everything so far. From here I only need a liner. I think I will just get some line, and I will try to keep everything soft, but I will come back to you when I finish the whole face. This is the final makeup look, I mean for the review and in general the final version of this makeup. I feel like it's a lot from butterfly wings, something about the oil painting, something very inspiring to me. Personally, I enjoy working with this shade. I think that they're vibrant, they're pigmented, they are a bit tricky, I guess, because if you apply them and think that you can blend everything on everything, this is not gonna work. It's the same style as you should work with Bella Botteba, about pigments, and that way all the shades are working together nicely. Lighter shades to the bottom and darker shade on top, and it looks very good. There is nothing special in the shimmery shades. Some of them are a bit more flaky in texture, which I do not really like, but this palette is not about the shimmery shades as far as I understand. Even though the blue one is really interesting, it has very interesting sparkles in it, and the yellow is duochroming as well, but it's not about, in my opinion, it's not about the shimmery shades in these palettes. So the color story, the coordination of colors, how they are blended together, what you can create with them, mattes in themselves, they are really soft and gentle. This is very interesting. They were swatching nicely, and I'm just enjoying this art form, let's say. So to me this palette is art more than it's like daily usage thing. So I'm just enjoying the process, enjoying the experience that it gives, and I'm pretty happy that I got this palette into my hands, and I'm just feeling like it just goes great all together. So this color story is very light, very airy, very painting-like, and you can see these shades also in the cover art. So we will talk about it a bit more in details later. For now, I'm just showing you what I got. This is more of a creative makeup. This is, I don't even know how to call it. It's a bit more graphic, and I would say that it does remind me of butterfly wings in a way, but I'm just really into it. It's just inspiring, so good for me. And I am enjoying everything. What else do I have on my face? Kevyn Aucoin foundation. Everything from Kevyn Aucoin so far that I've tried look really good. I think it's like a eye candy. Then Sephora contour stick on me again. Then I have Shea Glam Love Cake. This shade is actually quite pink, but on me it turns more into the natural flashy peach, and I do like how it looks. On top of that, I used as a highlighter, you can see this a bit, as a highlighter I used this shade of highlighter, I don't remember how it's called, Rose Gold Strobe Light from the Evil Eye palette. Then on my lips I have Colourpop, Obvi and Brink as a combination, so I applied both together. And then I applied a Gizu. This gives a very luxurious feeling, and I have a watermelon one. It smells like watermelon, it tastes a bit interesting, so it's indeed a lip oil. It does absolutely nothing in terms of the care for your lips. It just feels nice as a packaging and on the lips, but that's it. It's getting absorbed with skin, so the lips absorb this product relatively quickly and you need to reapply the stuff, but it does feel nice. Like, you know, once in a while, something like this, good thing to have, just for the, you know, girly feeling. So yeah, that's so far what I have. This is pretty much everything that I can tell for now. I will do one more makeup, maybe something in the halo, but very light one tomorrow that I will do, and I will come back to you with a new makeup look, and we will have all the thoughts combined about this palette, and see you tomorrow. So this is the final look I created with this palette. I'm pretty happy with everything. This is such a soft, dreamy vibe of the palette, of the shades, of everything that I see from this. And I wanted to say that I'm pretty happy about everything so far. So let's talk about the palette. It came in the box. The box is just the cardboard, very interesting textured cardboard with all the information in Chinese mostly, but they do have a couple of English words in here. These with the expiration date as well. Expiration date for the products in powder usually mean that some of the ingredients will expire at that date, the earliest most likely, and it's fine. We all know it's fine after expiration date. Anyway, this one is good until 2028. This is Pegasus Knight. We have a knight here in the armor, and we have a horse. I'm not sure if it's actually Pegasus, but it's Pegasus Knight, so I assume this will be a Pegasus. We have an injured horse, and we have a character in blue tones. I really like the arts of this palette, and I will show you the artist from Red Note. It's a Chinese social network, and yeah, Narimi is also mostly active in that social network as well. So if you're interested, you can register there and have a look. So this palette is very nice cardboard, just cardboard, nothing special about it. I thought actually that the color refills themselves will be smaller, but they are decently sized, and there are 8 shades in here. We have a couple duochromes, a couple holographics, more or less, and a couple just simple sparkles. The mattes in this palette are mostly pigment from what I understood working with them, and you need either to powder your eyelid or apply the lighter shade first, and then on top of it you can go with anything. The sparkling shades are on a less interesting side, let's say, but that also contributes to the price of this palette. So we have holographic sparkles on a blue base. I think it doesn't really have duochrome in here. This one is actually duochroming, but it's not that easy to see right now. This one is a holographic multi-chrome, so it has basically the rainbow in the smooth surface and a rainbow as a sparkles. And this one is a somewhat simple sparkle. I think it does nothing. They have a bit of a flaky texture, so you gotta be careful about that. Sometimes if you apply too much, it can leave a crust on your eyelid. This is not the desired output and outcome, so you need to be careful with sparkles here. But the mattes, as I said, you just need to apply something underneath them, like a powder or light shade, and you will be totally fine with mattes. They're very soft, they're very movable, let's say, if you have something underneath, and they create this dreamy kind of effect. They're not the most crazy pigment, but they create very nice makeup looks, very much in the art kind of zone, like a painting. And I did enjoy this palette because of that. Sometimes you just need something very special, let's say, that does not feel like theatrical or cinematic stuff. It doesn't feel like a clean girl. This to me is something in the art area, a painting. Yeah, so the whole palette basically contributes to the feeling and creates something that is like an oil painting or watercolor painting, so you can create watercolor makeup looks as well, just like I did in this review. So we have 11 grams of eyeshadow, which means each refill is 1.3 something approximately. And this is pretty good. Actually, above 1 gram is usually quite good. Above 1.5 gram is like very good, and 2 grams is a maximum I have seen, to be honest. So that's what I think about the eyeshadow themselves. I think the looks I created also very dreamy in this terms, and I was really happy to work with that. This is the first palette from the brand for me and the only one so far. So yeah, I'm very excited if I will be able to get more. However, I want to tell you that the pricing for each of them is closer to $50 US dollars. So I can see on Look Healthy store, this is $43.99. It's called Narimi Pegasus Knight 8-color chameleon eyeshadow palette number 11. So this palette is actually number 11 in the range of palettes that Narimi has created. And she's very indie, she's very independent, and the releases are coming however she feels like, and the restocks sometimes are not coming at all. Sometimes they do come, and this you have to catch that basically. But I think some of them are really worth the price. I'm not sure about the color stories that were before, so the formulas can be different. Like this one is really soft, velvety texture. I'm not sure how the others are, but I think all the new ones will contain somewhat similar formula to this one. This was part of the spring launch. I think there we had two palettes. One is One-Eyed Count, and this is Pegasus Knight. The new ones that came out are Midnight Narcissus and Love Picture Book. So, and each of them costs approximately $40 to $46 in USD. I also see it on C Beauty Mall. I do have a code with C Beauty Mall, but you know, you don't have to use anything or buy anything at all. On C Beauty Mall, it's $46.99 right now as a palette number 11. Yep. And Narimi herself is, I think her name is Mimi. I might be wrong, but I think so. And she used to be a blogger on Bilibili platform in China. I think it's like an analog of YouTube, basically. And she decided to create her brand. And now we get these nice little palettes sometimes. And I really did enjoy everything that I got so far. And I will be happy to have more of her palettes in my collection and to review more of these things, because I think I did a good job. And this is something different from the Western brands I'm usually working with, and different from other Chinese brands that I've tried as well. This feels good, and I want to show you all the looks I've created with this palette. So yeah, if you are really interested too, I would suggest to grab one of the launches that she had and just try it for yourself. I think the art itself, it's always artist, it's not AI generated or anything. It's always interesting story. The past three palettes, the Midnight, the One-Eyed Count, and Pegasus Knight, are somewhat similar, but they will have different undertones and different outcomes as well. So there is a small difference if you are wondering about that, because on the website sometimes they can look all the same. But I think they're not the same. I have a feeling inside, you know. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Leave your comments to me. Say something nice. I really like to read you. And I thank you once again for this whole view of what I could have created and what I did in general. So yeah, I think we will see each other in the next one very soon. Bye!